What's happening, friends? 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 Echo, echo, echo. Yes, welcome back, my friends. Good to see you all. New York session, March 19th, Thursday, post FOMC. Gold is dropping. Gold is dropping. Gold is dropping heavily, and the dollar is still stable. We'll be covering it today. Let's get the party started. Good to see you all. Welcome back to the streams, and it's a pleasure to host you as always. Let's make it a good stream today. Let's get to work. Who we have with us in the building? Let's see. Smash up that like button, G's. Come on. Support your boy for the free education. Let's go. Back to work. Let's see what we have with us today in the chat. Maleke, good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Torsten, good to see you. Arpandi, Gold's going crazy. Yes, sir. Grim Reaper, man. Good to see you, brother. How are you doing? Jurgen, Julton, good to see you, my friend. Welcome back. Welcome back. Right before the open, okay, right before a strong closure, again, an hourly closure here. We're going to talk about this shit. It's going to be important, man. Important session. Gold has been absolutely tanking. Absolutely tanking. Unbelievable. Horrendous. Zonix, good to see you, man. Luke, good to see you. Priyang, good to see you, my man. All right. I have one more sound for you, and then we get the party started. Sounds good? Okay. There we go. Love you guys. Yes, sir. Let's talk about Goldie. Currently in a short position after a major rejection here. We could already see the last 4 50-minute candles were just a bunch of rejections constantly, right? Every time when we think, oh, we find the bottom, buyers are not willing to step in. Literally, buyers are not willing to step in here, even when the dollar is struggling. So there's something happening around gold right now, which is really, really insane here. Oil is holding up again very, very well. Silver even worse, unfortunately, as well here. Absolutely horrendous price action from that standpoint. But you can see it right now, right? Gold is dropping. We're in a short position. I'm going to close the short very, very soon. Today's session, okay, will be more of a scalping session. And the reason why I will explain you right now. Session style will be more scalping orientated. And I'll go over the exact reasons behind it and why I'm looking to scalp the market a bit today. And to give you a quick summary of why, well, look at how much we already have dropped today by default. Okay, this is already an important factor. The fact that we already dropped so much is something that we have to take in consideration, number one, right? Secondary, if we want to buy, because we're looking to potentially bottom out soon, it's also very tricky because you go against the trend, right? It will be like a counter trend approach. This is not a trade that I'm looking to hold long either. So we are already pretty oversold in general. At the same time, buying is very tricky because you don't know what the bottom is, especially right now on gold. So therefore, I think scalping today will be the better way of looking into the market for myself. Getting in, getting out. Don't be too greedy. Don't be too committed to my trades. Once I'm in the position, if I can get some couple good trades out of this, that will be fantastic. Of course, using the volume profile, using the order flow, using the dollar, using the valuation. Okay? Looking forward to see what we can do today. If you like, support this channel for the free education I give you here. I'm following up with you, covering the FOMC. I'm making sure that I'm live 5 days a week, especially when I'm not traveling here. Then a like from your perspective for this video will help me tremendously. Okay? That's just for me personally how the channel can grow, how the algorithm get picked up, and this is just how the YouTube game actually works, right? That's your hope, all right? If you can help me with that, I'll help you with going to the market on a day-to-day basis here. I'm trading anyways. Why not doing it with you guys? That's the mindset behind it, okay? Hope that makes sense here. So, news in 30 minutes. We do have some news in 30 minutes. We're also now dealing with an hourly closure right here. And in the order flow, you can see that the 4-hour has closed as well. We will have major resistance already. I can already see this from this 4-hour order flow. I can already see that the 4,684 right here will be a major area of resistance if we pull back, okay? That's the 84, all right? That's actually where I, roughly speaking, entered. This is where we will find major resistance. So I'm actually looking to exit and close the trade before the news or relatively soon. Then looking for a pullback and then potentially get into a new trade again. Okay? That's kind of what I'm looking for right now because I think that's the only way. Buying the bottom here is just too tricky right now at this current moment. If we're undervalued, we might find a reason to buy. But for now, I don't see any reasons to predict the potential bottom. I think it's way too tricky to try to get into a market where the market is just selling off consistently over time here, okay? I hope that makes sense. Let me know what you guys think about your current buys right now on gold as well. And let's then actually go through it. And then we go from there. All right? Hope you guys are doing well here. This is the overall analysis. We can go over the overall breakdown of gold. But look at the daily time frame. Look at the daily time frame. Look at this huge drop. And we're pretty much smashing through all major areas of support right now. All major areas of demand right now, okay? This is just one big squeeze towards the downside right here. And it seems that all the people that long are getting, unfortunately, squeezed out of the market. And a drop like this is horrendous right here. We dropped around, I think it's roughly around 8% in the last 2 daily candles, okay? So take that in consideration. That is a major move here, all right? I'm always thinking, okay, what is the next level or what is the next area of support? And that is going to be, of course, let me quickly check it out here. That is on the monthly, or the weekly, sorry. That is going to be the 4,600, okay? The 4,600 is the next area of support here that I could see as potential real support right now at this current moment here. All right, so absolutely melting here. Let's see what we have right now with the news. The news is coming in around 27 minutes. We have the industry jobless claims and the new home sales at 10. Oh yeah, and the Philadelphia FF manufacturing index, of course, as well here, guys. All right, so we have a bunch of stuff to cover when it comes down to the news. But yeah, I hope you understand the reasoning of why I'm actually interested in scalping. I actually wanted to close this trade, but we're just dropping and dropping and dropping. Like, we're just not really even reacting here. So sellers are just constantly trying to push in. I don't see buyers stepping in. I don't see sellers are getting trapped. I don't see anything of this happening right now. I just see a bunch of selling, okay? Yesterday, if you look at the order flow from yesterday's daily candle, this is a full daily candle of the order flow right here, okay? And you can see that yesterday, the most orders were traded right here in this daily candle, were executed right there. And what happened today, right there, look at that. Price opened, it pulled into these orders, and it held resistance right there. And this is how order flow can be used on the daily time frame to understand where in the daily candle the most orders and trades were executed. And you can see how that actually pulled back into that. So if you then go back to the daily open, right there, we have something that we call, right, a CERC play. In our book, we talk about this all the time, the CERC play in the trading war map right here. You go to page number 46 in your ebook right here, all right, your free book, page number 46. You go to page number 47, sorry, and you have a consolidation, all right, an expansion, a retracement, and then the continuation. And what do we see today? I think you already know what I'm going to say right now, right? You can already see it pretty much, right? The consolidation happens right here. This is the open. This is that expansion, that retracement, and then that continuation right there, okay? So the CERC. And what happened around this area, this is where we were overvalued against the dollar. And what happened from an order flow standpoint, this is where we tapped into these orders from yesterday. So that is a golden combination. The consolidation, expansion, retracement, continuation, overvaluation, and then tapping into these orders, clear bearish buys during the Asian session, and pretty much only follow through today, okay? So that is what we're seeing, and this is why buying here and predicting the bottom is, in my opinion, very tricky right now, especially in these market conditions, as we can see at this current moment here. Now, I'm going to pay attention very closely to where I could potentially exit my position here on the lower time frame. We might be there very soon already, okay? I'm just going to be looking at an exit right now, I think at 47, 48. Yes, I'm going to put it at 48. Let me quickly set it right there. 48. There we go. 47.5 actually. Right there. All right. Overall, clear buys on gold here. We were very freaking patient with trading gold in general. Because of the FOMC and all that stuff that came with it. But the overall bias and direction is very clear, right? There's no reason to potentially trying to predict the bottom here, because this is how people absolutely get wrecked or get destroyed, unless it's a quick scalp, unless you predict a key level very well and you're looking to get in, you're looking to get out quickly with an undervaluation against the dollar. I would potentially get into a short as well here. Or sorry, long, but I would not hold on to my trade too long if that would be the case here. At the same time, when gold already dropped around, what is it today? 5%, bro. That's so sick. That is so sick, right? 5% in a day. Yeah, do we want to continue to sell and sell? I mean, we have to pull back for that, okay? We have to pull back in order to look for a new entry once again here. So I kind of trailed my stop. I'm waiting for price to either pull me back, and then I wait for pullback, and I will see what we do from there, okay? Daniel says, did you expect for gold to come down like this before the FOMC? To be honest, if you really look at the daily one more time, let's go to the daily one more time here. There were a lot of scenarios where I was like, there is a chance that we might be holding. But like I already talked to you guys beforehand, when we spoke about gold, what we can see on the chart, right? And let's just take a full daily candle right now, or a full daily chart here, is that we were starting to build these supply zones on the higher time frame, right? We had a rally, a base, a drop. That's a 3-candle play. And also, by the way, guys, this is in the book as well. If you want to learn about supply and demand, right here, you can actually learn about what supply and demand actually means. And then, of course, also the exact zones that come with it, right? The AMT expansions, the rally-based drop, the drop-based rally, you name it, okay? It's all in there. We talk about pretty much everything of how to mark out the right supply zone as well, just for your macro bias. But you can actually see that more and more supply zones are getting created right now. You see that here, you see that here. After this daily closure, we have that here. So this pretty much means that from a higher time frame standpoint, sellers are really taking control now, okay? And every time when you see these new zones getting created, it will be harder and harder for the bulls to actually get back in track here, okay? Because these supply zones, they need to be taken out. You need to form a bottom. You need to see an expansion to the upside. And you need to see something like this the other way around. Something like this the other way around. So if I would invert the chart, this is what you want to see if you want to be bullish here, okay? This is the the truth of what we currently can find out here. But again, did I expect it? I never set any expectations, to be honest. I just wait for the right levels, the right confirmations, and I'll pretty much go from there, man. Yeah, pretty much go from there. Okay, that is it. At the same time, why I was very committed to the short as well here was because the dollar is undervalued against the euro. Okay, so if you look at the dollar right now, we're actually undervalued against the euro. The dollar is finding support. I think this is only helping gold to drop even further at this current moment as well here. So yeah, that is kind of the situation of what we can actually see right here. All right. Clinton says, imagine we flipped a quarterly candle. Bro, you are correct. That would be absolutely madness. I agree with you, man. Kevin Hinsman, man, good to see you. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing well. I'm going to be here for you, my friend. If you have any questions, reach out to me. I'm here to answer your questions around the session. And hopefully it can help you out a bit. I'm learning every day, my friend, as well, just like you. We're in the same boat. Oh, damn, look at that. Wow. Absolutely madness, guys. Absolutely madness right now. Wow. Yeah, so what we did in first place, how I got to my entry was pretty much, I took the swing high to swing low. So we used the volume profile for pretty much all our entries. And I want to at least have a rejection from the volume profile. So what we do is we use, in this case, the swing profile. It's actually in the book as well here. We talk about the swing profile. You can find this on page number 52 right here. This is a perfect example of where we take the swing high right here to swing low. And then we get to the point of control, okay? That is the area where in that swing, the most volume was traded. So for example, if we take, let's say, the swing high here to the swing low at that time, the point of control was right there, okay? So the point of control was right there. It's just this red line right there. You could see how it got rejected, okay? So that pretty much showed us that sellers were still in control, okay? We're still in control at this current moment. And this is why we're only looking for, you know, continuation short positions pretty much. We love the volume profile. We love the volume profile. Kev says, good morning. What are you trading today? Gold, my friend. As always, look at my thumbnail. Just look at my thumbnail. Yeah, crazy stuff. So today is Nyepi in Bali. I'm not sure if you guys have heard about it, but it means a silent day. So actually, the rules for Nyepi is that you have to be locked up in your house. You have to stay at home. I cannot leave my house right now today here in Bali. I need to keep my doors closed. I need to keep the lights turned off, all that stuff. And sometimes they even close the internet, okay? This is what we call a silent day in Bali, where there's one day where no one is allowed to go on the street. The whole island is empty. The airport is closed. One day a year. So it's luck that I can stream today. Just so you guys know. Yeah, so I'm waiting to close this trade. I'm actually now just trailing it at this current moment in this market condition. You just don't know how far price can actually go. So I'm trailing it at the moment, and then I'm actually looking for a new setup right away, right? We're looking for that new push, or we get to an undervaluation right here, okay? And then I will close my trade as well manually. So either I get trailed out of my trade or I close the trade manually. But the idea from here is pretty much to pretty much set it from there, right? Something like this, and then go from there, or wait for the pullback right? And look for continuation short setups. Because like I said before, when I look at the order flow, the higher time frame here, we will find major resistance at 4685, right? 4685 is of course back up here. So if we manage to pull back all the way, then I will be looking for another short setup again, right around there, pretty much. And just following the overall momentum right now. That will be the ideal case scenario. But that will be a scenario for shorts. If we're talking about longs, I need to be very careful with today. I need to be very cautious with longing. Okay? Need to be very careful. Cannot be forcing any longs here. It needs to have we need to have a really good reason. An undervaluation or something, dollar overvalued. We need to have a really good reason for us to actually look for short setups, long setups right here. Even though it could be a quick in and out scalp or whatever the case may be, right? Yeah. Man, what a move. We have news in around 15 minutes. So do take that in consideration. How to use the fixed range volume profile? Great question, my bro. Great question. There are multiple different ways you can use the volume profile. Let me show you a couple of ways you can use it. You can use the fixed profile, which pretty much uses the range itself. So you just use the profile over a certain range. It gives you a level, very helpful. You have the daily volume profile, which takes a time. This is a time-based profile, all right? You have a fixed range, which is just a range on your chart, which could be any time, any moment, on the 5 minute, the 1 minute, the 50 minute, the 30 minute, the 1 hour, whatever you want. And they have a time-based profile, which is more around the time. So the previous day, for example, from 6 p.m. to 6 p.m. New York time, can give you an understanding of where yesterday the most volume has been traded and where the distribution or how the distribution of the volume actually took place. That is another way. You can also use the weekly, right? If you really want to go deeper into the macro, you want to get into the understanding of the week, of the previous trading week, especially if the trading week was very concentrated. So if the volume was very precise, right, this is going to help you tremendously. And then you have the swing profile. And this is what we use when the market is aggressive. So today the market is very aggressive. And that's when we use the swing profile. Okay, we take a swing high to swing low, and we wait for the pullback into any of our levels. And these are, from my understanding, the best levels to trade from. Okay, I hope that helps. And there are a lot of different ways you can actually use it, but you will see it on the stream. We'll be using it all the time here. And I've been using the volume profile for I don't know how long. Way before it became popular, that's for sure. Way before. All right. Mario says the previous 8-hour candle is the new supply zone after this candle closes. Let's look at it right here. Yes, that's a new supply zone right there, my man. I agree. Yeah. But that's all the way up there, and the market has been tanking ever since. Absolutely nuts. Yeah. So my goal is to get out of the trade when we're undervalued. Number one, I will get out, I will close the trade manually, or price pulls back and trails me out of my trade. And then we have news in 10 minutes. And then I think it's time for new setups. So patience wins, guys. If there's one thing I've learned in trading, is that patience and being a sniper and being structured wins. It truly wins, all right? Impulsive trading is emotional trading, and it's usually not going to work in your favor. Do take that in consideration. I've been struggling with this for a long, long, long freaking time to understand that that core dynamic here. It requires a lot of self-control and a lot of pain. A lot of freaking pain to get there. I can guarantee you that. Love from India, bro. How are you? My G, man. I'm doing great. What about you, my friend? Good to see you, bro. Good to see you again on this live. Amazing to see you. Lorenzo, gold is in 12-hour demand. Yes, we are finding some higher time frame support as well here. Let me actually confirm this right here. No, we're not in 12-hour demand. We are in support, major support right now. But we're breaking through it. We're pretty much ignoring. We're pretty much ignoring all the major levels at the moment, which is mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. Yeah, really crazy. Sure says, trust me, bro, that thing, I hardly agree with you, but the patience thing, yeah. I agree, bro. It is, it's something that has to be learned. And the thing is with streaming, right? You want to take trades. You want to take trades all the time. That's the thing about streaming. So, yeah. But opportunities comes and go. We're going to have weeks where we will be absolutely taking over. We'll be taking over the industry. We'll be absolutely killing it. And then there are moments when we have to sit on our hands and be patient and observe the market and just understand that it's out of our hands. We cannot control the outcome, and we have to wait for the right opportunities and take advantage of those opportunities. And the better we are at filtering out our opportunities, and the better we're going to be together as a group to adapt to the market condition that changes all the time, the better traders will become. The better traders will become. Any other trades you took today? Yeah, I took another trade here earlier. I think I took a small, like I was trying to get in earlier, as you can see here, but I closed it. So I took a very small loss there. I think it was like $200 to just get into the trade. And then I tried to get into the trade again. And that was the good trade. All right, 7 minutes for the news, guys. What do you guys think is going to happen today? Let me know. What do you guys think is going to happen today? We have the unemployment claims, the industry jobs claims, and we have the Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Index in 7 minutes from now. If we go to the dollar quickly, the dollar is holding that support right now, okay? The dollar is still holding support. It's in a range right here, as you guys can see. It's pretty much flat in a range, and it seems to find support. And we also came from an undervaluation against the euro. And you guys know it, right? Look at that. Undervaluation, we bottom out. Undervaluation, we bottom out. Undervaluation, we bottom out. That's gonna give gold the impulse further to the downside here. Overvaluation, we top out right here. Not overvalued, but in the equilibrium, and we also find a top right there. So yeah, these levels are super important to understand what's going on with the dollar. But the dollar is not weak, man. The dollar is still showing strengths or showing signs of weakness. But every time when it shows signs of weakness, it just pulls back, it comes back stronger, and it's just holding up really well. That's the current situation with gold. Wow, what a move, geez. Holy moly. Holy moly, look at that. Wow. Let's see. Think we can throw our stop loss again. 4639. 4639. Yes, sir. $4,639. Yeah. Absolutely wild. Why the volume profile switches with the time frames? That's a good question, because the candle closures on the trading view chart will show you the tick chart, right? Therefore, because it's a tick-based proxy, it's not actually the real volume profile of the order flow. It is sometimes showing you different levels at different time frames. Okay? That's the best way to explain it. The volume profile on TradingView uses a tick-based metric. So that means every tick goes up and goes down is measured as or equals volume. All right, so it's slightly different from the real order flow, where it's actually around the real orders in the marketplace. But I've been using the volume profile on TradingView for around 5 years, and it has, for me, been working flawlessly. And I can say this after taking thousands of trades with this exact method. So it's still good for an indication. Do you need a premium account for TradingView for the volume profile? No, you do not. You can use it for free if I'm correct. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but this was the trade of the day, guys. It was the consolidation, the expansion, the retracement, the continuation. Okay, that was the trade of the day. That was actually during the Asian session, and this is why sometimes, guys, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I will be waking up really early, because if I know, right, looking at the daily here and look at the order flow, if I know there is a critical area of resistance, I will be looking for a pattern like this on the 50-minute time frame, and I will set my freaking alarm, and I will take a trade during the Asian session, and I will hold on to that trade until late New York. That's what I'm gonna do in these type of market conditions. Yeah. But for New York, it's about getting what we can get, taking what we can take. Yeah. No signs of longing, no trying to predict the bottom here, guys. I really think it is something very, very tricky to do now at this current moment. Trying to long gold, predicting the bottom here. This is where most people get wrecked. This is where most people get destroyed. They look for the bottom because it seems to be so oversold. And they're scared to enter short positions right around here, okay, where we entered, because they think, oh, gold already went down so much, it cannot go down further. Well, then you haven't been in the market for too long, because you understand probably that gold can do some crazy stuff. You guys know that. Gold can do some crazy things, man. Wow. I'm still flabbergasted every day. I'm still learning every day. And getting to know gold better and better. And it keeps surprising me. I really want the book you have. Yeah, we have a couple of things. I think you can now go to ltaconcepts.ai. All right, ltaconcepts.ai. And you can get my book for free right here. You fill in your email address, okay? And then you can get a free copy, all right? LTA, there we go. Let me actually just make sure you have it right there. LTA, not LTA, sorry, ebook. My bad. My bad. Right there. Ebook. All right? It's completely free. All right, we have news in 1 minute from now. We're getting close to an under valuation. I will be closing the trade very, very soon. Yes, I understand the selling here. I do get it. But at an undervaluation, these are one of my rules. We will most likely just bottom out and start ranging a little bit. So for me, that's enough a reason to get my profits and find a new trade later on. Yeah. Guys, okay, please show your valuation index settings. It's against the dollar, all right? Right there, it's against the dollar. See, what happens if you put it on 100? Yeah, very, very similar. Perfect. All right, let's see. News. Bullish for the dollar. 2.5K. Slightly better, slightly... Oh, this is actually a big difference right here. This is actually a big difference. The Philadelphia Fab Manufacturing Index came out much better than expected. Much better than expected. Okay, damn. Wow. Crazy, man. Crazy. That is wild. All right, a lot of selling now. A lot of selling now. Let's see where this 5-minute candle closes. This is the highest amount of selling we have seen here. We might be reversing here very, very soon. We might be bottoming out soon. At least in a range, at least forming a smaller range or something like that. Yeah, if you want to sell again, I definitely want to wait for a bigger pullback. That's for sure, yeah. That's usually the best way right now. We haven't seen any pullback today. Zero, okay? I would not even call this a pullback, by the way. This is not, I would not call this a pullback, honestly. So we have to wait and let's see at least a pullback today, if that will be the case for a new trade here. You know, that's something I would definitely be waiting for. Yeah. Okay, there we go. I think we're finding a bottom here in the short term. I've trailed my stop to 4639.2. So let's see if we can respect this. Are you the one that created X Limitless? Yes. Jolton says, I'm up 16K since pre-FOMC. Damn, bro. Damn. What are you going to buy from that? Damn. You're going to grow your account? 16 G's. Nice. I also need to pay my rent. So I'm working. I need to pay my rent. That's why I'm here, man. I'm here to trade. I'm here to make my G's as well, just like you guys. And I actually would do this anyway, so that's why I'm not doing this. Why I'm not doing it just live with you guys right now, right? I think that's the best way. The best way. All right, there we go. Just keep going. Keep going, man. Just do it. Just do it then if you want. Dollar's pretty much flat. The dollar is flat. How much is the rent in a place like this? A lot. How come you started using Orderflow, Lorenzo, when you've been so successful just using the volume profile? Really good question. I have been asked this a lot. And I told my community already this for a year. I said at least like, yo, these guys like Fabio, Valentini, and Andrea Simi, guys I really look up to. You know, they really showed me how well the volume profile can be utilized, right? And I found my own way using the volume profile. And I pretty much wrote a book about how you can use the volume profile in different ways and how you can create a winning trading system around it. And then I realized that through what Fabio or Andrea was telling me, that you can actually use Orderflow perfectly with our strategy as an additional layer, okay? So it's not a strategy. Orderflow, I would not call it being a strategy. I would just call it additional data. additional information that can help me with fine-tuning my executions, increasing my risk to reward ratio, and also being a little bit more precise with my executions within my levels. So the point of control is here. Same thing I always do, but a little bit better confirmations around sometimes the actual understanding of the orders. So it's just an additional layer. Yeah, shout out to Fabio, all my Italian friends. I'm the outsider, I'm the mix. Okay, I'm not fully Italian, I'm the mix, I'm the hybrid. But I'm accepted. I'm accepted. So you're just waiting to see big trades aligning with your volume profile levels? Exactly, right? And the biggest trade today was the CERC play right here. The consolidation expansion retracement continuation. That was today's biggest trade. Right there. Page number 47, consolidation expansion retracement continuation. Very clear pattern. Happens all the time in the market, especially in these trending conditions. Yeah. Dominic, this is my trade. 3R taken. It's on the wins section. Gee, amazing. Dominic, big shout out to you, bro. It looks almost exactly the same as in the book. Yeah, right? It's the exact same. It's crazy, actually. It's exactly the same. Holy shit, you're right. You are correct. Lifetime Doji, welcome to the stream, my friend. Thank you for the subscription. If you could smash that like button for me, that would be a real help. All right? That's the only thing I'm asking for you guys, is smashing up that like button. That will help grow the channel, man. I will be here 5 days a week from Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. EST, 7:45 to be exact. Between 7:45 and 8, okay? I will be here for you. All right, I think we're close to, we're getting a lot of selling here, but no follow through now. So we're getting closer. Ooh. Take that profit. No, we have our stop loss drilled right here, my friend. All right, we have our stop loss drilled. Experimenting with some trading in these type of market conditions. How do you access order flow? I use the Xau charts. The Xau charts is for me the best, personally best platform. Okay, deep charts is also something I've of course been trying to use a bit as well. But I've been so used to Xau charts already for so long. It is super clean. You can actually use it in your browser as well. There is a web version. You can actually use it on browser. Take that and pay the rent. Well, this does not cover the rent, my bro. All right, dollar is weaker, but gold is not responding. Gold is not responding to dollar weakness. It is absolutely wild. It is absolutely off the rockets right now. Wow. Lorenzo, when updated Spotify playlist? Bro, these bankers are hard. This weekend, my friend, I will work on the playlist and I will send you the Spotify link of all the songs, okay? Of all the songs for you. I promise, I promise. Still my favorite one is this one, actually. This is my favorite one. No, this is my favorite one. Yeah, it's very nice, man. We'll make sure you have an updated playlist soon. Come on, jeez. Lifetime Doji, hey Lorenzo, this is my first time on your live feed. Are you here every day with gold and the NQ? Yes, sir. That's the rule. That is the rule. We watch the NQ open, but gold is definitely our baby. On this channel, gold is our baby, okay? From there onwards, we look at other instruments, but gold is our baby. Because gold, if you don't understand how gold moves, then you know the opportunities you can get every day. It's just a matter of timing and patience. Yeah. Okay, boom. Come on, man. Undervaluation. We're not there yet. We're almost there, though. The news is bullish, so we don't have to worry about the news right now because everything came out really, really strong. Everything came out really strong for the dollar again. Yeah. Damn. Boom. 2 G's. Okay, we're getting very close now. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. We're gonna close this 50-minute candle in around 1 minute and 30 seconds. Wow. Stop loss 46.15. Wow. Unbelievable, man. Wow. Wow. What's going on, man? Dollar is not even pushing. Dollar is not pushing higher. Silver, 12%. What is happening here, guys? Wow. Wow. What is happening here? Okay, super undervalued now. Super undervalued here on the 5-15 minute here. We're gonna potentially get a pullback. I'm gonna close this trade, G's. $2,500. This is maximum capitalization here. Maximum capitalization here. Absolutely maximally capitalized on this one. Wow, damn. Wow. Yeah, I'm still gonna look for some bounce or pullback. We have exactly what we need right now to get into potentially some pullback scenarios here. We have to pull back soon though. Like I'm not buying this continuation now from here. Too far. We're undervalued now. It's still going. It's unbelievable. It is still going. It's crazy, man. Yeah. How do you know where to put your stop loss? Well, initially we put it above the previous candle highs, above the actual key level of the profile. Right? We use the volume profile as a reference. I want to put it above these levels here. And if I see a wick or multiple wick rejections like this, I prefer to put it above these wicks right there. Okay, because that means that pretty much in many cases there is a lot of aggressive selling here or a lot of aggressive buying. That means that a lot of trapped buyers got into the market and they started to become trapped in the market right here. So if you can put your stops above these sort of quote unquote buyers, then you have a good chance of holding onto your position, right? That's kind of the thought process right here. So it's usually above the wick highs pretty much. Yeah. For the rest, we have been trailing our stop losses for the past 1 hour until I said we're going to reach an undervaluation here. And when we reach an undervaluation, that's the moment for me to exit the trade. Okay? I hope that makes sense. It's crazy that it's still pushing. It's crazy. Buy now. I will be very careful with buying here. We are seeing an undervaluation here, but gold is doing some really has some really unusual market behavior right now. I'll be very, very careful with trying to gold here. I don't see any signs of buyers seriously stepping in either. So I could have actually just leave it up a bit longer, but that undervaluation is actually a strict rule that I follow here. But man, that's a big move here. But again, for the next setup, it's about a pullback or anything in that matter here. Pullback scenario into, I think we have a couple levels already. We have the 4600. We have the 4630, 4626. And then we have the 4658. And then if you use the volume profile right now, let me just quickly go to the 1 minute. And let's take this high to this low. There we go. Yeah, the 20, right? So the 47 and then we have the 20. Yeah, that makes sense. The 4620 makes sense. Let's see, 4620. Yeah, right there, yeah? Somewhere around there. That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. Let's see where we can close this this hourly candle. Okay, we are going to close this hourly candle in around 10 minutes from now. Okay. Somewhere around here where the most volume has been traded. Okay. Somewhere around this block, we'll find resistance, potentially. The dollar right now is relatively weak, or it's slowing down here. So we do have to take that in consideration. This is why I'm saying, because of this undervaluation, guys, right now, we did expect somewhat of a pullback, right? We kind of did expect somewhat of a pullback here. And you can already see that this is a serious wick right now that is getting formed here, right? Definitely a serious wick that we're seeing. That is flipping right now already. So I think we closed it at the right moment. I'm actually very happy with this closure. I think it was a perfect closure. Adam says, got your book. Thank you for this and what you are currently doing. Thank you, man. Read through it. Take your time in the weekend. Go through it. Read the book. And then let me know what you think about it. And then, of course, I will be back on a Monday again with the trading session. And, of course, tomorrow we have another New York trading session as well here. And, of course, you know, we're trying to get into trades. That's the main incentive, right? Getting into trades on stream, obviously. Okay? We have done this hundreds of times. But, of course, the timing. I can't control the timing of the right setups. So that is something that we have to be patient with. But, yeah, the flip is here. And the pullback is kind of something that we kind of did expect around this moment right now. And this is why the undervaluation is so important to us, right? Could you buy here? You could buy here. Yes, in theory, yes. But that for me is... these are not enough confluences for me to feel comfortable about entering a trade. That's just to me still a little bit tricky, okay? Because even here we were undervalued. And yes, we were ranging in this aggressive downwards move, right? To the downside, we were ranging, but we didn't really make that pullback. This was just a sign that the market would be ranging, right? Or at least going into another distribution phase before actually moving further down, pretty much. So yeah. Why not hold a trade and place your buy stop at TP that you wanted? Why not hold the trade and place your buy stop at the TP that you wanted? So this one, you mean? And then place my buy stop when it... because I closed it when price was there, right? Pretty much, actually. And we were undervalued. So yeah, could I have squeezed out an extra point or 3-4? Yeah, I think I could. I think I could have. To be honest, I think I could have. It's true. But for me, I know that when we reach an undervaluation, it's a matter of time before we reverse and actually pull back. That's how confident I am in that indication. There we go. We're already pulling back here. So it's about, can we get back to the point of control? Which is roughly speaking around this area right there on the 50 minutes. So I'm actually very curious to see if we can pull back here to the point of control. And if you can get into a quick scalp here. If this makes sense, so we have to really observe the valuation as well. There are going to be pullback scenarios where we look for pullbacks and where you can get into some setups as well here. We have the hourly as well, a bit higher. That will be the best setup, by the way. The best trade will be at 4684, but that's all the way up there, right? That's all the way around this area again, where we initially took our trade from. This is then the first real pullback of the day, because we haven't seen any pullbacks today. So for me, that will be considered the best re-entry. That would be considered the best re-entry. That would be, for me, the best level where I would look for a trade for and potentially hold onto it again, because we will be overvalued. We will get back towards these highs. And then the question is gold strong enough to break through here? I think it's going to be very hard right now. You can see that major resistance there. Very hard. So 4 minutes, we close this hourly candle, and then we know more information. Yeah. Juan, good morning, Lorenzo. How are you today? I'm doing great, my man. Thank you so much. And I want to thank you guys really well for all the love and support over the last couple of days. The amount of messages I got on Instagram and yeah, just in general from you guys as well. It's just very, very nice, man. I really appreciate this, and I'm very excited again to be on the streams with you and to just share my ideas and my overall analysis on a daily basis. And of course, there's nothing better than doing things live, right? And showing you exactly how you can trade and what I've learned over the last couple of years. And yeah, how I will be trading regardless if I will be live or not. So our new format right now is Monday to Friday, 7:45. I realized that I start 50 minutes earlier. It's usually better. So we actually can get into trades already before the open. And we kind of know already what to expect, right? So yeah, it has been a good first almost 2 weeks right now. So I'm very grateful and thank you for the support. Can you explain what's the thing on the right side? That is the order flow of gold. That's the actual orders executed in the marketplace, displayed on what they call a footprint chart. This is what a lot of institutional traders are using. The footprint chart. It's, in my opinion, the depth of market on steroids. It's a really good understanding of where in a candle the most trades were actually executed. So you can really finely, precisely find your entries and confirmations. But it's not a strategy. Like I said before many times over, it is not a strategy. The strategy comes from your candlestick chart, at least from what I do. So you should already be able to be profitable with candlesticks, okay? So don't think that you need this to become profitable. Because some people talk about the fact that without this, you will never become profitable. That is just not true. That is not true. But it can definitely work as an additional layer. Jaime, what's included in the membership? The membership is currently closed, so we do not have anything to sell to you, man. Just watch the live streams. Download the book for free and join the live streams every day. All right, this is our pullback, right, guys? This is exactly what we expected right now. The pullback was gonna come, and this is why we closed our trade, because we knew when there's an undervaluation, we usually will see a pullback of some manner. We have not even seen a pullback today, except for a small range. This might be actually the pullback that we're looking for right now. Do you want to trade the pullback? Do you want to go long right now and trade the pullback? I think it's very, very tricky because you already are gonna run into a serious resistance very, very soon, which is starting at 4,600, okay? It's starting at 4,600 on futures, the futures chart. I'm not sure what level that exactly is on the gold spot chart. I can check it for you if you want to. But it's probably, the first resistance is already at, yeah, 4,600. 4,600, yeah. So that's why I think predicting the bottom here is very, very tricky. A master construction, my G. Welcome to the streams, my friend. Good to see you. Ritu Raju. You too, my bro. What is the lowest price gold can go? I have physical gold available on me. Should I sell or wait? You're gonna sell it, and when you sell physical gold, bro, you have to pay a tax. You have to pay a fee. It's tangible. You're never gonna get the full price. So you need to just hold on for this. If you buy physical gold right? Literal physical gold. You're not buying it to sell it a couple months later, okay? You're buying it to hold it for the long term, for whatever emergency situations or, you know, long term, okay? So give it time, let it breathe. And unless you need the money, put it somewhere and don't look at it. That's my suggestion to you. Just put it somewhere. Actually crazy, right? This is why predicting the bottom here is so hard. It's great for exits. This trade was a good example. In this market condition right now, where when price is dropping down aggressively, it's great for exits, to predict the exit of your trade, but not to enter. Not to enter along. Lorenzo, did you expect for gold to go down like this even before the FOMC? Yeah, I already answered that question. I don't set any expectations, to be honest. I look at it level by level, my man. Level by level, week by week, day by day. What is the next level? What is the next demand zone? What is the next support zone on the higher time frame? And how does price react to that level, right? So I'm really stepping away from predicting the market, okay? The only way I can predict is with COT data, right? The commitment of traders report, for example. That gives me a really good indication of what might happen and what are the potential bigger chances something will happen. So I use that information. I use the seasonal tendencies as well here. We are also in a downward cycle right now, right? From a seasonal standpoint. So there are definitely things that I use to kind of create a prediction for myself. But when it comes down to my trading execution, I need confirmation. And the only way to get the confirmation is by the technicals, the levels, and watching it level by level. So, you know, that eventually is always going to be the framework and the foundation here. So anyways, our next major support zone on the gold chart right here on the daily time frame on spot will be the 4482. Yeah, 4482. This will be a major level, the 4482. Okay, so do take that in consideration. The 4482 on spot, and on futures, it is the 4462. No, 460. 4460. Okay? So yes, we will find major support here, and we're not that far away from it anymore. So yeah, if we are there and we do create an undervaluation and we do react potentially bullish, yeah, maybe we can get and try to get a scalp long because we have higher time frame support, right? So it might be worth to try if you could get there, and then try to get into a lower time frame scalp. But that's a trade that I will be getting in and I will be getting out to. I will not be sticking around for too long, right? That will simply be just a trade for me to observe and to see what can happen in there, yeah? Oh, that makes sense. So quick scalps for longs, and if you can get into pullbacks for shorts, then these are like the trades I could hold on a bit longer, let's say. TDR says, could be another boring New York session like yesterday. Well, it's not really a boring session today. Yesterday, yes. Yesterday was a bit more tricky. Definitely. Less clarity. Definitely less clarity in any way, in pretty much all angles, right? Also what Jerome Powell was talking about yesterday. Like, we talked about this all the time, right, guys? But like, he is a genius. He is a genius in setting the standard of... He will be the best salesman. He would get out of any situation at any moment. He starts off strong. He gets weaker and weaker in his statements. And yeah, I don't know, maybe, yes, could be this, it could be that. We have to wait for the data. So you never get a good answer. It's never clear of what he is actually saying. It's genius. Saad Salim, my friend, good to see you. Welcome to the streams. Hope you're doing well. And I wish you a blessed day, my friend. I wish you a blessed day. Bertie van Almelo, that sounds Dutch. That sounds Dutch. All right, so the undervaluation is definitely clear, and you can definitely see how we're starting to see that buyers are. I'm not saying that buyers are stepping in. It seems like a lot of profit taking. I think it's a lot of profit taking here, right now. I think this is what we're seeing here. A lot more profit taking. Yeah. Now we really have to get up towards the 4607. Somewhere around that level, right? On the lower time frame. But preferably, I would love to see if we can actually get a bit higher, right? The 4607 is the first level I will be looking for though. Which is the point of control. Actually, we can move it a bit lower now. Oh, it's a bit higher now. Okay, there we go. This is what I mean, right? With like the tick chart. But yeah, we have that gap here. This is an important level, important area. The point of control. And this zone as well. I want to see how price reacts in this zone. Yeah. Let's see what price does here, right? If price gets into this range somewhere and we start to struggle, yeah, I might try to get into another entry. And I hope that we will get a bit more up, more aggressively up right here. And do something like that. But let's see. Suresh, welcome to the stream, man. John says, I don't predict, but I think we're consolidating for the final bull move back up. Just feels like exhaustion for sellers. Yeah, I do see what you mean. We're seeing a lot of profit taking now. Yeah. But I'm not seeing, and this is the difference, John, what I'm not seeing yet is the buyers actually stepping in here aggressively. You wait for New York Open? I mean, whenever we get into a trade, man, I don't know. Whatever the market gives us, right? For the next trade. Whatever the market gives us. I don't have to necessarily wait for the New York Stock Exchange to open up. Not necessarily. Yo, Leke Music. What's happening, bro? Yeah, a lot of buyers, a lot of selling, but no buyers stepping in here. So yeah, we could easily get towards this higher time frame level, man. We could easily get there. I would not be surprised if we would just continue to drop to that level. But I personally prefer to pull back, right? And then just, I would always prefer for price to pull back and to sell off towards major support than to try to take a long from major support, if that makes sense. Because it means that we still will be trading short with the trend right here. And otherwise, we have to kind of predict the bottom, counter trend, right? That's a bit more tricky. So I prefer a pullback before tapping into major support, because it could be that if we get there, that we will be ranging for a while before actually making that move back up. So I prefer a pullback, to be honest. But we have to wait and see. We're not seeing it now, though. We're not seeing a pullback now. We're seeing sellers still being in control here. And yeah, nothing really has shifted here. Let me just quickly change the tick size. Boom. Yeah. Nah, there's definitely still not... nothing crazy happening yet. Sunzar, my man, good to see you. Yeah, we need some badass tunes. I'm building the best playlist for you guys. Trust me. When I say I'm building the best playlist, we're building something really awesome. So we'll make it on Spotify for you soon, so you can use it when you're trading. It will increase your win rate with 15%. Laser focus. Just saw that the Saudi refinery was hit and Qatar had exporting facilities damaged. Oil may be going to the moon. Yeah, I saw this video live. And by the way, if you guys want to learn about what's actually happening with the war, okay, let me show you a channel. And this guy is going he's going viral right now. He is absolutely on another level. And he's giving these lectures. If you're interested in learning about the war, this is the real shit. This is the top of the top of the top of the top of the top. If you want to really understand what's going on, I highly recommend you to follow this guy, Predictive History. Okay, 2 million subscribers now. He has no profile picture. He has, then you know it's a good deal. Then you know it's some serious shit. Okay? It's like, it's something. Oh, no profile picture, all right? This guy is the real deal, okay? Predictive History. He talks about Iran. He talks about all the layers of what's happening.
There was a major escalation in this war. So the Israelis have bombed the Iranian oil fields. And in response, the Iranians now are attacking the energy infrastructure of the...
Anyways, we're not going to leave. This is 50 minutes. Clearly, we cannot watch it now. But like, if you're interested in it, watch it. He's going viral for the right reasons, okay? Objective, real information that really predicts everything with an objective point of view, okay? He's not picking sides. He's just looking objectively about what is actually happening right there. It's very helpful for us as traders. Very helpful. You understand exactly why this is bullish for oil and why this could be very important for also the dollar as well as for gold, etc. Very, very good. You can actually do this, okay? You can actually take one of his videos, all right? And then you do this. Let me show you a trick that you can use so you can summarize with ChatGPT the best information, okay? You take one of his lectures. This was from today about Iran. Right? He goes. You have to look at. He goes into Iran. He talks about everything that's happening right now with Iran, all that stuff, right? You take this link and you put it into transcript, YouTube transcript. Okay. Wait, let me show you. Yeah, you find a YouTube transcript, so it means that you can actually put in the link on YouTube. Let me just actually see if I can find it right now. There we go. So you put it right here, you put his link in it, you get a free transcript. Okay. Now you copy it. Now it's copied, right? And then you put it into ChatGPT. Let me open this now. And then you say, summarize this lecture for me and explain me how this could affect oil, the dollar, and the metal sector, like gold. All right? And then you put it here. And then obviously ChatGPT does its thing. It gives you the indication. And then you learn. And you keep doing this over and over again. And you can get a really good understanding from why and how this could affect oil for the right reasons. Because he's the real deal with the right information. So you can learn a lot for the potential scenarios right here. Okay? So enjoy. It can be really helpful if you're interested in understanding the economy better. And that makes you as a trader better. Because you will be, you'll just have a stronger bias for the right reasons, okay? Anyways, back to the charts. Back to the charts here. Let's look at gold now. You see that gold is trying to pull back. We know we're undervalued. It's just a matter of time before we make some sort of pullback here. And we just have to wait and see how price responds at one of our major levels. I think we're very close to one of those, which is the 4,605, right? The 4,605 is a level that we'll be looking at. But it's not necessarily, right, something I would be really 100% committed to yet. I'm just gonna observe how price reacts there. That's kind of what I'm doing here, because we are still undervalued, relatively speaking, right? And we could make a much larger pullback today, to be honest. We could actually get up there again and sell off again. So we'll observe it. Learning together, Thomas. Yes, sir. Learning together, man. We're learning together. That's it. That's why we're here. We're here to learn and to help each other, to be aligned, at least. And also, if I do something wrong, or you think that I'm not on point with something, right? Just let me know. I love European. I would love to hear European as well. We're getting there, though. We're getting there. We've been killing it. Hey Lorenzo, where can we get the self-evaluation index? Can't find it in search. So right now it's a personal indicator I created. I'm thinking about what to do with the indicator. To give it away to, I don't know. We have to think about it. I will let you know within a couple days what I'm going to do with this. But it would be great if other people would get access to this as well here. Some people use the RSI. It's slightly different though. It's not the same. It's, in my opinion, the RSI on steroids. Using the dollar as a tool of reference rather than its own chart, which is very, very, very interesting. But yeah, the dollar is dropping. And if the dollar is dropping, gold will have an easier time pushing back. And with an undervaluation in mind, right, as you guys can see here, we can kind of confirm that this pullback is kind of necessary for gold. But I'm not super, super committed in longing gold here. I still believe it's very tricky to long it. But let's see what happens with an hourly closure, right? If the hourly candle closes really strong, and we can really confirm that we find some sort of support zone here, right? Let's say it looks like this, the hourly candle closes. And we're still around this level. It could be, right? It could be. We just have to mark out our scenarios, right? Then I could go to the 5-minute. And I could mark out the range here. Or I could do something around here. And see if there's room for another buy, right? That could give me a good confirmation that with a bit more conviction. But it could easily be that we just pull back today. And then we can actually sell off again. So yeah, we just have to be, I just have to be a bit patient right now. I'm gonna be a little bit observing. But the first level of resistance is gonna be 4605, 4604. So we're not that far away from it, actually. So yeah, this major level is here at 4461 or 4460. That's like the level that we're looking for eventually to be hit, which is yeah, right here. Okay, it's a strong demand zone. It's a higher time frame demand zone. On the daily time frame, higher time frame demand. So this is my target eventually for the day or for tomorrow, if you can get there, because I haven't seen any strong area yet or any support that really is giving us an indication, okay, we could like find a balance there, except for that zone. So the 460, and on the gold spot chart, it is the 4481. Yeah, so either we pull back, we sell already off here, or we pull back deeper and we sell off here. Or the hourly candle closes strong, we find support, and we actually make a pullback. But this is the trickier trade, in my opinion. It's the scalp, which is against the trend. So I prefer to trade with the trend and just wait for the pullback. But if price is still hovering here and the hourly candle closes, and it gives me some indication here that we are actually seeing that sellers are trapped and we close above it and this finds support, yeah, I might be entering a short-term long because we are undervalued. So yeah, there are definitely scenarios. Right now, we're kind of in the middle of pretty much all of these potential scenarios. Yeah. What is the best strategy for a beginner? The best strategy, my friend, as a beginner is you, okay? You are the best strategy. Your best strategy will be not, well, the answer is you probably expected in terms of you should trade this way, you should trade order blocks, you should trade supply and demand. Now, the best strategy is how you, as a beginner, organize yourself as a trader. How do you take information and how do you turn that information into a process? And are you able from the beginning to stick to that process, yes or no? If you are able to stick to that process, you will rapidly increase your learning curve. With that said, the strategy comes secondary. You can make any strategy work if you manage to put it in the right process. Because I've seen people trade head and shoulders patterns. I've seen people trade trend lines profitably. I've seen people trade order blocks, FVGs, whatever you want to call it. I've seen people trade a bunch of different ways successfully. So it's about, I think, the process that comes with that. Okay. I have my strategy. My strategy is built around the volume profile. Like, that's my personal way. I like to use the volume profile. I like to use supply and demand on the higher time frame, the volume profile on the lower time frame, and then order flow for confirmation. But that took me already years of studying candlesticks before I even started with order flow, right? I'm still learning it. I am still learning the order flow. Getting better at it though. Getting better at it, but definitely I have a lot of learning to do still. But now says I have a problem that I overtrade, and in this case I lose a lot of money. I understand this, and the main reason why you might be overtrading, my friend, is because you do not have clear a clear process in mind. So you don't have necessarily clear rules or set clear rules for yourself that you can follow, right? Imagine that you have a kid, right? And you don't give your kid any guidelines on how to live life properly, and he doesn't know anything. Do you think that kid is naturally just gonna behave, or it's gonna do whatever it wants to do? Probably that, probably the second, right? So you need to give yourself guidelines and rules that you follow. Because if you don't, you start doing random shit. And trust me, you can follow the rules 90% of the time and still do random shit, but that's another problem. That problem comes later. Do you know Fabio and Andrea Simi? Of course. Boom. The thing with Orderflow that I'm now learning, which is something I didn't do before, which is really interesting actually, is that I'm actually learning now about the daily time frame, which is crazy because you have the daily candles and you have the order flow of the daily candle. And you could see today that the orders were traded the most in this daily candle between 48.52 and 49.010. This is where the most orders were traded. The most sellers were aggressive. And then what happened when a new candle opened up, it tapped into these sellers, all right? And now you know, hey, you're in higher time frame resistance. These are like the real support and resistance levels around volume. You can also use the volume profile on the trading view chart as well if you want to know that. But then I know, okay, we're in that level now. And then I look on the candlestick chart on the 15-minute time frame because this is where I execute my trades. And then I see the range, the expansion, the retracement. One of my favorite trading patterns, right as when we are tapping into that level on the order flow chart. So that was the best trade of the day. If I held on to that trade from the beginning, I missed out on it because it was an Asia session, unfortunately. But that was the best trade of the day, right? And look at how big that move was. It was a massive move. 7%. It's a huge move, 350 points. I don't even know how much it is in pips. It's probably like, let me actually see how many pips it is because it's probably crazy. It's probably ridiculous, actually. 3,600 pips. Okay? 3,600 pips. Now that's 3,600, not 36,000, not 36,000, correct? No, 3,600. Yeah, no, that's crazy. But anyways, that was the best trade of the day. And yeah, I'm learning about this, and it's very interesting, very interesting. Because usually people use order flow on the lower time frame, right, for their trades, not necessarily on the higher time frame. But yeah. It can help with the buys as well, with the daily buys also. Okay, anyways, the 5-minute is shooting up right now, the valuation. The 15-minute is still undervalued. So I think we still have room to go. The hourly is starting to be more bullish now, okay? The hourly candle is starting to be more bullish. So this hourly closure is actually super important for us because if the hourly candle closes above the 4550, we might find support. But if the hourly closure just drops within the next 30 minutes, yeah, then that's not the confirmation yet, right? So if I want to take a long, like as a scalp counter, then this is the right moment. Then it's important to wait for the hourly for me, because entering now right here, hoping that we'll break that resistance here is just very, very tricky. So getting in here, maybe with a tight stop loss below, and then getting potentially in on the lower time frame, marking out a key level, and then yeah, looking for an entry somewhere there. But the hourly candle is super important. Like I said before, there is indeed a chance that we will pull back. And if we pull back, that we will actually pull back to the highs again. But major resistance will be at 4605, okay? 4605. Cargo says, so you think if I would do the order flow and stuff, I would be good at it? You can get good at anything you would like, as long as you're really interested in it and you want to learn more about it and you're consistent with it. Yeah, so the pullback is coming. All right, we're kind of anticipating the pullback here, guys. Buyers will step in. Buyers are starting to step in here. You see a lot of sellers are getting squeezed. This is the first real time, by the way. This is the first time in around, I think, look at this, guys. This is the first time in around 3 hours that a 50-minute candle had more buying than selling. There were more buyers than sellers in a 50-minute candle for the first time in 3 hours. So buyers are starting to get back right now in the market too. I'm not convinced yet, personally. I'm not convinced yet. I'm not convinced. I'm not a big fan of longing today either. But I do understand that at some point we just have to pull back. And we might be setting up here for a potential pullback here. So there are two things I could do. I could try to trade the pullback and then short the continuation. Or I only short the continuation. CEO Beef Burgers, hoi Lorenzo, what's happening, man? Good to see you, bro. And I appreciate you guys joining and supporting the channel here. We've been growing really, really fast since we started with the streams again. I'm extremely blessed to be here with you guys. And if you like the free education, then just make sure you smash up the like button. That's the only thing I'm asking, is just to smash up the like button here if you like the content, of course. And then you help the channel grow a lot, okay? I'm going to be here 5 days a week trading anyways. I need to trade anyways, so why not trading live and just sharing what I do? And yeah, sometimes we get into really good trades on stream as well. And hopefully that you learn from it. I hope you learn from it. Thank you. Yeah, buyers stepping in, sellers trapped. First time in a while, we have seen buyers dominating again. First major resistance at 4,605. So that is going to be right there. Let me mark out a line. Right there. 405. First level, first resistance will be right there. Do you offer any type of trading? Not really at the moment, just on the live streams. I did wrote a book here. So if you're interested in studying the book, it's a full book of the volume profile. I think you can learn a lot from this. And if you're not a big reader, okay, if you don't like reading, you can also put it in an AI, an audiobook. You can turn it into an audiobook and you can listen to it. So you can go to the gym, you can go do, you know, you're in the car, and you can just listen to the book, okay? And of course, you're gonna miss out on some images, but the message, there is still a lot of, there is still a storyline here, okay? That you can learn from. I think it's definitely interesting. So I will share a link for the free book in the chat. What do you do when we don't trade live? Well, I make sure at least, right? And this is also another layer. We don't always have to trade live on stream every day, number one. Like if there is no clear setup at the moment, we're not gonna force a trade. That's just not how it works. I'm not gonna force a trade. I need to make money trading. I wanna make money trading. So that's one layer. But secondary, I'll just do my analysis, right? And if we don't get into trade live, which, you know, we had like last week, we had like 5 or I don't know how many trades, but I'll just do my analysis and at least show you the scenarios of what I'm looking at anyways. Right? If this happens, I will do this. If this happens, I will do this. How many times a month does this happen of gold? This type of move happen for gold? I don't know, man. It's a crazy move here. But you know, at the same time, on the daily time frame, it happened to the upside as well here. Unfortunately, right now we're seeing the bearish reversal. But we will find major support very, very soon at 44883. Which is actually this zone right here. This is going to be major support on the higher time frame. So we're just very patiently waiting. And yeah, trying to long gold right now is it's just too tricky, clearly. But after the hourly candle closure, I might give it a shot at a pullback in a new hourly candle, but it's going to be with lower lot size. It's going to be with a bit more, it's going to be more of a scalp, if that will be the case. Because I would still potentially see a good confirmation, but because the trend is so bearish, you can't force it. We can't force it at all, right? So a pullback would be much better for the continuation. And if we already tap into major support, it's still, like, you're in major support, but the trend is still bearish, right? So unless you're willing to hold the trade really long, or, you know, you're willing to sit to some drawdown or whatever, it's a different story. But if you want to get in, you know, in a trade with as little as drawdown as possible, we need to wait for the right confirmation. I do like this a lot, though. I do like how buyers are stepping in right now. And in 18 minutes, we will close this candle on the hourly. And the 4 hour, yeah, same. The 4 hour, we're finally seeing some buyers stepping in, but yeah, the hourly is where it's at. It's really about, can we close this candle on the hourly time frame? Can we close this candle bullish? Because then in the bottom wick of the next hourly candle, I would feel more comfortable with getting into a scalp here, but I would not be entering before the hourly candle closure if it's a long. And for a short, we also have to pull back. So Yeah, pretty much like that. We'll see how it goes. The dollar is still on the weaker side right now. It's slowing down a little bit. A little bit, okay? Just a little bit. Not much. It's slowing down though. It's probably one of the craziest moves I've seen in a while from the dollar. And of course, oil as well here. Are there any oil traders in the chat? Let me know. What I currently see on oil though, is that oil is slowing down a little bit. I think that oil right now is actually slowing down. A lot of people expect oil to continue to pump here. I see it slowing down a little bit. We're kind of seeing divergence taking place. So I would not be surprised if it would drop a bit more down before a larger move up again. Taking out the lows, the previous daily lows, for example, or eventually get towards the 90. Or maybe even the 88. But yeah, I think that oil is, of course, has a bright future ahead of it itself as far as what we're seeing now. But the fact that the metal sector, like gold right now, is selling off so aggressively is very interesting. And this is unfortunate because a lot of people got wrecked, unfortunately. A lot of people got into a trade with the understanding of, including myself, by the way, I also encountered a loss where I expected with the Iran war that price would just continue to go up and up and up. But obviously, oil went up and the dollar went up and people preferred to buy government bonds or get into the yield and oil rather than gold, right? And silver. So the safe haven asset was considered the dollar rather than the metal sector or gold or whatever the case may be. And we're seeing right now some sort of, deleveraging, because this is the only way I could explain of what's happening in the market right now. This is just what I call deleveraging. Because if the dollar is so flat and oil is kind of ranging, but the metal sector is selling and dropping 10%, yeah, that's not normal, right? That's not normal. All right, let's give it 15 minutes to see if the hourly candle closes. And then otherwise I'll do a really deep analysis one more time so you know all the scenarios of the things I will be looking for. But I think it's pretty clear. But this hourly candle allows me to know if I could go for a quick scalp or not long. Real Hassan says one red heart from Nigeria. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for the love. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Damn. We're absolutely shooting up. Wow. Damn. Not with gold, but with the channel. Damn. Got cooked on oil longs after it pumped. Unfortunate, Johnny. Unfortunate. We'll make it up, man. We're getting back. We're getting back. I haven't really looked into oil, especially not on the live streams, because I've been so used to trading gold on the live streams, right? I'm so used to trading gold. The good thing about oil and gold right now, though, is that you can see that there is they can move super aggressively. The metal sector can also move very aggressively as well. So I took a trade today during the London session. I took it at 4708 and I closed it at 4713. So I actually had a small loss here. think it was around $200, very small loss. And then we tried it again, and that was the real trade. I could have stick to this trade, by the way, and just held on to it. But yeah. Conclusion, overvaluation. The overvaluation, right? That's the money maker. That's the money maker. The overvaluation against the dollar. Anyways, gold is still weak, right? And this is why I'm so super hesitant with longing here, finding and predicting the bottom or whatever. Because anything is possible now in the next 13 minutes before the hourly candle closure. Yeah, Rani, sorry, I didn't see it. Emmanuel, welcome to the channel, my friend. Thank you for the sub. Ona, thank you for the sub. I think we're going to do some giveaways pretty soon again, guys. That's the plan. I'm going to do some giveaways here. Lone Trader, welcome. Some we have probably given away thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of challenges and whatever on this channel. Yeah, look at that, right? And this is why I'm saying, like, just be very careful with longing here and predicting the bottom here, okay? Be very careful right now. The order flow is showing clearly that we're not there yet. Sellers are definitely still in control. Buyers stepping in, but that doesn't necessarily mean much right yet, okay? Because the hourly candle will really give us the indication if we actually see a reversal or not in the short term. And it could easily be that buyers are getting induced, so buyers are getting triggered to enter now because we're finally ranging, right? It invites people to buy, okay? It invites people to buy gold, and then what happens? Whenever then the candle closes, 10 minutes before the closure, right? Or 5 minutes before the closure, the candle suddenly comes down again. How many times have you experienced this? That you enter, and then in the last 5 minutes before the candle closes, suddenly makes the real move, and then you're stuck in your trade. Let me know. If not, pay attention to this. Because the last 5 minutes, the last 10 minutes on the hourly are the most important minutes. The most important minutes. Just wanted to ask, is the valuation index a custom indicator? It is. I'm thinking about what to do with this. Okay, I haven't done anything with this yet. We might give this, or we might do the giveaways with it. We might do a couple things with this at the beginning. And then later on, I think we might do, we might even give it away. We'll see. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see, we'll see. It's similar to the RSI though. You should compare it to the RSI. If I put the RSI here, actually, you will see how similar it is. But it's completely different, okay? It's funny, it's completely different. Look at this, right? The RSI is undervalued here. Look at that. You see that? The RSI is undervalued. And the price kept dropping, right? And here, we were overvalued. And price dropped perfectly from that overvaluation there. Do you see that? So this is where I believe, right here, we're overvalued as well. For example, right here, we have an overvaluation. And right here, we were not overvalued. This is why we kind of put like the RSI on steroids, because valuation itself, right, like the RSI, is actually very good. The concept is very good. But with a couple tweaks, you can make it even better. But yeah, we'll think about what we're going to do with it. Bro, my school fees of 4,000, what currency is this? Are due. I'm currently only have 2,600. There is a small amount still left. What is this? Yen? Chinese yuan? What is this like currency? Using order flow, how do you determine that buyers didn't step in yet? By the numbers of longs? Yes. The amount of more longs than shorts. That's the conclusion here. The amount of more longs than shorts here. Now, at this moment, you can see that buyers are stepping in. But as long as this hourly candle has not closed yet, we don't know what the end result will be. And I think that if we do get a closure like this, we will find an entry at... we might indeed find an entry at 45848. You need to look on the lower time frame. Yeah, like the very low. So 4548. But that depends on the hourly closure. And I think there is a chance that we could pull back. So, but it's all about the closure now. Let's see if we can actually close. Oh, the dollar is dropping now pretty aggressively though. Look at the dollar. You see that the dollar is dropping quite aggressively, right? That is definitely interesting. The fact that the dollar is getting weaker, but gold is not. Again, the dollar has dropped, you know, quite a lot in terms of today. It's not like a lot, but it's still, you know, it dropped. But gold did not really care. Gold did not really care today. And usually you would say, when the market is normal, when the market is, let's say, in flow, it's synchronized, this should be much more aggressive from gold, for example. Okay, now we're finally seeing some buyers stepping in here. We will tap into that resistance already very, very soon though. So be aware, the 4605, we talked about this before. It's this blue line. John says, European Central Bank speaking now. Okay. Yeah, sorry, I can't listen to her. Sorry. No offense, but I have a really hard time listening to Christine Lagarde. Because it's pretty much the same as what Jerome Powell does. So, it's pretty much the same. It's like the same script. The same script. Oh, man. Okay, 5 minutes left. The pullback, we knew some sort of pullback was coming, but was it safe for longs? I didn't feel comfortable for longing the pullback. Shorting was, in my opinion, the better way before, of course. Now the question is, can we pull back? Can we close this hourly candle strong? And from there, can we then actually create a bottom wick in a new hourly candle? And then maybe get into a long? Or are we already going to pull back so aggressively that we just have to wait for price to get there, get to an overvaluation, get back towards our range, and find resistance again, which is major resistance here, and then actually, try again to short it again. Lorenzo, if you had one bad week or bad trade, how do you mentally don't overthink too much, and how do you avoid stress? If you truly believe that your system works over time, no matter the circumstances, no matter what happens, and you know it's your personal mistake, then you at least know that the system itself works. That by default should give you a lot of peace already. That's how you can avoid stress, avoid that overthinking, because you understand and you trust the system. Now it's about trusting yourself, right? And if you can overcome that as well, then the rest will follow through automatically. So trust the system first, and then, you know, you will make mistakes along the way. But if at least you can trust the system, you have something to work with. You have building blocks, right, that you can build from. The dollar is dropping quite aggressively out of nowhere. That's a serious drop. Let's see where we what are the most important levels for the dollar to pay attention to right now, because this is a serious drop here. We will find support at the 99.5. That is a major level. We have an 8-hour, 12-hour demand zone right here as well. We're in that major level already, actually. And on the 8-hour, we can actually fine-tune this to the 8-hour. So we have some support right here on the dollar. So we have to wait and see how price reacts here. But again, wow, very strong closure then. It's the first hourly candle that showed finally some strength. So I think, to be honest, I think the trade was closed at the right moment, guys. It was closed at the right moment. Yes, I could have squeezed out an extra, you know, couple pips here, points here. I agree with you. But the actual process and execution and the exit, I think was pretty solid. Just hopefully we can maybe get one more trade. Yeah. Very strong. Very, very strong. Wow. 55 seconds left. This is the first time in how many hours? I'm going to show you right now. Okay. This is the hourly candle. This is the data. This is the first green delta on an hourly candle we've seen in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hours, guys. The first hourly candle that shows there's more buying than selling here in an hourly candle, in a single hourly candle in 9 hours. All right, so there's definitely now buyers are coming in. There's definitely some reason now to start thinking about, are there pullback scenarios that we could actually be looking for. That 1 hour conviction can really help with setting the statement, setting the standard, because we can take it then to the lower time frame and see if we can find our right entries there. But again, I will reduce my lot size, or my contract size, I could better say, because I still go against the daily trend. It's still the reversal play, right? And the daily trend has been pushing us down all day long. This is the first real pullback we're actually seeing since. But look at the 15-minute. We're already getting to that overvaluation because the dollar will find support soon. So either we do something like this and we find support in this range, and we look for a short-term bounce long, which is a quick scalp, Or I look for a push higher. Any of these levels. Wait for the overvaluation. And try to trade again with the trend. So actually both sides, it's possible. I prefer to trade with the trend though. I really prefer to trade with the trend. Strong closure, I must say. All right, the 4-hour resistance is sitting at 60 is 85. 85, that's exactly there. That is also the value area low. Sorry, that is also, let me look at this range. We're gonna use the fixed volume profile. We're gonna mark it over a range, a previous range. We can also mark it over, let's say, the London range. Let's just mark the London range. And that is indeed this level, the value area low at 78. Okay. Yeah, we're pushing up so strong now with the next hourly candle as well here without a bottom wick. This is still very, very interesting because we will find that level there at 78. And that is indeed around this area. Yeah, I think we have something here. Let's say in a 50-minute, if you can get there and find and show some weakness. And if you could trade with the trend. Yeah, this might be the nice one. Let's see. Dollar is finding support here at 8-hour demand. And that's the level I'm looking at. So that will be something like this. And then target the weekly, the 3-daily demand zone, which is what this is actually my weekly target if it would come down further and break down. But I look at it level by level. And that means it will be something like this major zone at 4660. And I think that if not this candle, right, the next daily candle could get into that higher time frame demand zone, find support, and then make a move here. So I do like this target as a target. And obviously a lot of buyers are going to try to step in right now because they're predicting the bottom. So, yeah, let's see what we're doing here, man. What we will be risking, obviously less than I already made today. So I end the day in green regardless. Yeah. Show your volume profile settings and color. Actually, it's in the book as well, right here. If you go to the volume profile, I actually put all the information in there as well. Let's actually... Oh, where is the data? Sorry, let me see if I can find it for you. I think it's above here, sorry. $128 and 70. It gives you a little bit more of a refined look, okay? Which can help. Yeah, we're creeping up again, right? And look at how we're overvalued now, almost. That's exactly what I want to see. Last time we were overvalued, we were there. Okay? The time before we were overvalued, we were there. The time before, we were there. The time before that, we were there. Planning to read this entire book this weekend. Excited for this, yes. So just for clarification, in this book as well, I talk a lot more about the macro fundamentals as well here. It's not only about the volume profile and about the supply and demand, right? It's also about the fundamentals that come with it, okay? To create an understanding of what smart money really does and where smart money is really looking at. What type of information? We've put a lot of work, a lot of effort into understanding this better. And yeah, it's just good for you to know that regardless, besides the executions and trading as well. So it's a good combination of volume profile, execution, practical, but also explanation of the fundamentals around it. And it's free, of course. Nali says, I was long all day just gambling, lost 95%, longed gold, 0. Okay, unfortunate, man. A lot of information. Yes, I agree. It's not something that you just go through quickly. Okay, it's not a 3-pager. It is something that you build over time. That you read over time. Yeah, it's a real book. You can also use it as an audio book, right? And then, yeah, you can listen to it in the car or in the gym or anything in that matter. And I think it's good to provide with some sort of information here. Anyway, sellers are coming back. Sellers are coming back. Are we at our areas of interest? I would love to see price pushing up a little bit higher. Yeah, I would love to see it pushing up slightly higher. Like I said before, at least towards like 75. 70, yeah, 70, yeah, 75. Like really getting to us to that overvaluation again. And the dollar is at support though. That's interesting already. The dollar is already at the critical key level. Alex says the book is really easy to follow and understand and it's slick. Nice design. Appreciate you, brother. The streams, teaching, analysis. Amazing to hear that, man. Yes, sir. And the music, bro. I can't imagine you didn't talk about the music. You know? Like that's why I'm here. Just so you know. You know what? This one is for you. Come on, baby. Come on, Goldie. Give us something. All right. Yeah, we might actually just be squeezing up a bit more. I'm very impressed though with how gold is actually recovering and how the undervaluation played out. Again. But it's not necessarily that I'm just going to do this randomly, right? I hope you understand that. I'm not just going to build my whole analysis around, I'm going to buy here, I'm going to sell here, I'm going to buy here, I'm going to sell here. You know, I need context. You know? So obviously it's just one part of the whole cycle, right? The whole, it's one confluence, pretty much, so. And because the trend was so bearish today, you need a really good reason to long the bottom. Which in hindsight is the bottom, but you don't know that beforehand. But we're getting there. We are getting there. Why am I so fake right now? What's going on with the camera? One second. No idea. Anyways, we'll figure that out later. Do you have a sell limit? Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. But Goldie. 4 hour. Yeah, we're gonna see a lot of buyers stepping in here, but I think right now we are on the hourly time frame, not looking like we are still really ready yet to go. Look at the hourly already. Look at this hourly candle, right? We're finding that resistance already. The dollar is already finding support as well. So definitely waiting for price to get there. Let's see if we can actually get there. But yeah, that is what, 73? 73. Yeah, 70, yeah, 73. Gold is already struggling. Gold is already struggling. It's already struggling. No, we're not overvalued yet. So let's see if we can get there. John says, I did a fixed volume profile on the 15-minute this morning. It just bounced off of my value area low. All right. All right, all right, all right. Let's also draw the whole profile from the high to the low right now. The new low. Yeah, we're in that low volume area. So you might expect a little bit of disturbance right here. Yeah, I think that this might be a good, it's definitely a good range to start looking for sell. So I actually really like this level here. But my question is, will it get there, right? That's kind of the question I have right now. Will it get there? Because we're already slowing down here. This is where patience get tested. Right. Nah, buyers are still willing to step in here though. Like there is definitely still some support. This is that last line of support actually. If we would lose this and we would break below the 10, so we would actually break below the 46010. Yeah, then I see that we might indeed just already are losing that momentum earlier. But right now, we're still holding. Matt says I'm long on oil and on gold. All right. Okay. Oil as well. Is oil bouncing? Oil is chilling today. Oil is just relaxing today, chilling. It's not doing much. We opened bearish and then we pulled back. We got rejected and now we're in a range. We'll probably see a larger move later. Yeah. So it could easily be that we actually already bounce here, drop here a little bit. Yeah, this makes me actually want to set in a buy limit, a sell limit right here. Because if it now drops and it actually drops further down, then obviously I have to cancel my trade. But if it now comes down and pushes up again, yeah, I'm very comfortable with us getting to an overvaluation. And then we actually had the exact same trade at the beginning. Right here. And it was also around a level. So I might set my limit. I think I'm gonna set my limit order here, right, guys? 47. Sorry, 74. And stop loss, yeah, still above the same highs. And then I actually do want to target these lows right there. I do want to target these lows. I think, how big is my stop? Yeah, okay. That's a perfect size. Yeah, 46.74 is well, it's still, I think, a great level. Really good level. But yeah, let's see if we can actually get there. Because we're slowing down again. Yo, Yassine G, my friend. Welcome back. Good to see you. Long time ago, bro. Yo, Lorenzo, does Exit chart has a heat map? It does. It does. Actually, right here. You see that? A little bit of a different heat map as you might be used to, but it's still showing you the orders. It works really well in the 15 minutes, by the way. With high volume, it gets a bit wild, but sometimes there are really good levels there that stick there for a while. It's obviously not the same as the bookmap, right? Clearly, but you can see now that there are a lot of limits getting placed. There's a lot of absorption here. That's why I keep my limit order open, because I still believe that I think we could potentially get there. But hey, if you think it's gonna drop already, then you know, it might be. It's up to you. It's up to you to decide here. For me, I just want to have the best entries right now, because I got into a good trade already. I just want to get into the best entries, and I think the best entry will be considered there. Because if, let's say, price is getting rejected here, I don't really know where I can put my stop loss safely, right? Without, for example, I could let's say enter there, but then my stop loss still needs to be there in case it gets there. And then what, right? Now my risk to reward is a 1.2, 1.3 to 1. Whereas here it would be considered a 4 to 1. So that's kind of the reason, right? Why I'm not a big fan of like entering right now, and we're not in an overvaluation either. So that's kind of chasing the market again. And I made this mistake before, where I see it already going and then I miss out, and sometimes it goes and then something in my brain happens where I'm like, ah, shit, I missed it. And then the next time I chase it because of that lost time, and then you get into that vicious cycle. Yeah. We could still bounce, by the way, from the 80. We could still bounce from here. We could still do something like this. Lorenzo, it makes sense to put the limit there that the drop could well be an inducement. Yeah, exactly. I think it's a good entry for a limit order. 4674, and then the buy stop at 4722.23. That would be insane if this trade would play out again. Man, that would be a major day. That would be huge. That would be big. But yeah, let's see. Sell limit on CFD will be... it's always a bit different. It's not the exact same, but it's something around 4677. 4677, something around that. I would say it's 4675. Actually, very similar right now. Yeah. Yes, we're here to learn. We're here to learn and get better every day, guys. That's it. We're here to learn together and get better every day. But at the same time, I do want to follow a system that I can repeat. And I think I really need a system that I can repeat over and over again to just optimize, right, and get better. Obviously, I'm learning about the order flow stuff right now as well. So I'm definitely not a guru, right, when it comes down to order flow, but I am learning a lot. I'm learning so much, man. Yeah. The blue and the red fire thing is so cool. How to do it. Yeah, it's crazy, right? It's called the CPR, the composite profile. You can actually see that there are more limit orders now, sell than buy. Yeah, there is definitely selling pressure. There are buyers now getting trapped on this 1 hour candle. There's a lot of buying here at the top of this hourly candle. And these buyers are now in drawdown. On the 15 minute, you can see this right here, a lot of buying. Buyers are now in drawdown. But I really do want to trade with the overall trend today. I couldn't find a good bounce or a good scalp or an entry for me to feel comfortable buying. Counter trend. And the risk to reward was also not that optimal. The risk to reward ratio, so. I don't understand why the limit order is under the red line, the red volume line. Now, yeah, so these are the sell limits and these are the buy limits, okay? These are the passive orders in the market. Yeah, it is actually explained in a way where you can actually see the blue lines are buy limits and the red lines are sell limits at that moment. And then the candlesticks are actually representing the market orders. And in order to execute a contract, you need one limit order and one market order. You need one seller that's aggressive, which is market, and one seller or one buyer that is passive, which is limit. But I'm learning this also, right? I've been doing this for a year, so I definitely know the ins and outs now, and I do understand order flow, in my opinion, relatively well. But I'm not gonna preach that I am the king, the order flow king. That's not what I'm here to do. What I can say is the volume profile. That's something I've been really working with for years right now. Lorenzo, turn off the fan? No chance. No chance. Not possible. Not possible. Oh, it's literally my hat, my cap. That was the reason. Damn, okay. Anyways. Yeah, so this is what I meant, right? So gold is already slowing down already earlier. You can kind of see this. We might find support though on the hourly. We might find support at the 80. 80, yeah. See what happens at the 80 here. Right, watch this. If we can get there. I could not enter the short there. We had to get towards the overvaluation. And it says, turn off the fan, you're wasting the energy. Bro, do you want me to like boil here? What do you want, bro? Yeah, let's see what happens at the 80. 80, 80. A lot of buyers stepped in here. This is the first time, right, in this hourly candle where all the buyers came in. So we might bounce here. We might do bounce here. This is why the risk to reward ratio is just not good here. Because if we would enter a short here, and we get here, we already can do whatever we want. We could put our stop loss on break even. We could already exit the trade if we want to. We could manage the trade, take profit. We could throw our stop loss. So many more things that we could do then. And we are in that zone right now. So we'll see how this reacts. Just gonna observe it. I marked it out as my box. My green box. Let the setup come to you. Yes, my G. I agree. But look, what's going to happen here right now? It's very interesting. Because we marked out the 4580, right? So if we should bounce, we should bounce around here. The valuation is that we're getting still relatively overvalued. I would love to see price getting there. But man, gold is just so weak, man. Oh, man. It invites buyers to come in, but it's still very, very weak. We also have the 78, 78 still. And yeah, like I said, for today, I can just see that I'm not really into buying today. No buys for me today. I can't find buy setups that I really like. Wow, that's like an amazing buy, right? I don't see anything that really spikes my interest unless it was trying to predict the bottom right there. But the sells today, wow, man. The sells were amazing. Did we miss the retest? Well, the real support is now, right? This is the real support, by the way, right now. So unless we break below this, below the 50, right? Below the 50s, then I think, yeah, that we have missed the move here. We could easily bounce from here and still get to our limit order, at least to my limit order. We could definitely bounce from here. So I never exclude it when I see we are nowhere near below the buyers. The buyers stepped in here. We're still above the buyers. And if we're above the buyers, right, then this could flip. And the thing is, if you look at the candlestick chart like 1 minute ago, right, you would say, oh, that looked so bearish, right? And everyone in the chat right away, I think we missed it because it looks so bearish. And then what happens? Boom, the candle flips out of nowhere. And now you're like, oh, it might actually push. Or it might actually reverse. So if we really break structure, yeah, we clearly missed. I clearly missed out on a second trade. But if we bounce and we actually, you know, hold support here, we might get there. We might get there. Yeah. So a lot of people that are trading order flow right now, right? I use the volume profile, the macro fundamentals, some CUT data, some higher time frame stuff, and the order flow right now on the lower time frame, and also higher time frame. But you see a lot of guys they use order flow for the Nasdaq, right? The Nasdaq, the S&P 500. But to be honest, order flow on gold, wow. If you understand this and master this, it's an absolute game changer. That's why I'm looking at the Nasdaq, right? And I'm also looking at like the open of the Nasdaq every day. What happened during today, for example, what happened during the open, etc. And there are amazing opportunities there as well. But I just think I'm emotionally attached to gold over the years. I've been trading gold since, I don't know how long. Can you find this the thing in TradingView? No, not this one. This is called Xau charts, but the volume profile and everything I use only on TradingView. I actually don't use the volume profile on Xau charts, by the way, because I'm so used to using it on TradingView and it works so well for me. You see, we're bouncing here, right? At least for now. So, you know, never say it's over until it's over. Don't say it's over until it's over. I think it's over if we would close below this low. Then I think confidently I could say we missed out on the second trading opportunity. I would have probably then not getting to the best trade anyways. The risk to reward here didn't make sense for me because my stop loss still had to be there. It's just not good enough. But now I'm starting to like it. If price continues to go up, yo, how young are you, my man? Well, I'm not really young anymore, but I'm not really old either. someone in the middle. I'm 32. Oh, look at that bounce. Look at that bounce. Serious bounce right there. Look at that bounce. Malabro, masih ada kemungkinan turun? Ya, mungkin. Look at that. Why did we bounce there? We bounced there because this is where buyers stepped in. This is where buyers stepped in. So it looked like we were going to drop further, but no. We were holding above these buyers. These buyers stepped in there. Right there. Anyways, I have my sell limit as where I think it should be, and that's 4674. And I think that will, for me, be a good level to look for a reaction from. And I think that's going to be, for me, that major level, the major 4-hour resistance. Stop loss should then be at like 47. Yeah, actually, I think the stop loss is where it should be. How could you speak Bahasa? Sedikit pak, sedikit. Nama saya Lorenzo. Saya tinggal di sini, di Bali. 5 tahun. Ya, 5 tahun. Ciao Lorenzo, sei italiano, posso imparare e iniziare. Sono per metà italiano e per metà olandese. 50-50, you know? All right, I like the push. I really do like the push up here. I really do actually like it a lot. This is exactly what we wanted to see here. We didn't want to see gold dropping because I would be missing out on another trade opportunity. It's holding up. It's holding up quite well. Market is slowing down a little bit, right? We can definitely see that the market is kind of slowing down right now. But we did see a lot of volume once again traded today. Okay, we actually, and this is the interesting part, we actually have more volume today than yesterday. Look at that, 177,000 contracts yesterday. Today already at 184,000 contracts traded. Right, so there's definitely a lot of volume traded today. Yeah, I'm still willing to look for sells here. I trust the overvaluation in combination with the trend, in combination with the dollar finding support, and in combination with the 4-hour resistance in the order book. These are 4 confluences: trend, valuation, dollar, and order flow. Right? 5 is actually, the 5th, sorry, is actually the volume profile, the value area low, which we talk about, of course, in our book right there. So these are 5 confluences. I know the only difference is I know it's getting a bit later, right? So the volume might be slowing down here. I do get that. But hey, you never know, man. You never know these days. With volume, it's very unexpected. Sometimes out of nowhere, right? Price stalls a bit and it continues to sell off aggressively, or the real volume comes in later on. Yeah. Abdi says, I live in Italy, Bologna. I'm going to go to Italy this year, this summer. Amazing, man. Thank you so much for the love and support, by the way. It's crazy. Today's crazy. I really appreciate it. If you really like what we're doing here, man, then I highly recommend you, not recommend you. No, actually, I recommend you to smash up the like button for me. We have the free education here on this channel. I started the new series, the new volume plus order flow series on YouTube for gold. And I started last week. And we are going to be here 5 days a week for the open for around 2 hours. Today, maybe a little bit longer because we're waiting for some setup, right? But the only thing that I ask you to do is just to smash up the like button for me, right? That's the only thing I'm asking for you, because it helps me a lot with growing the channel and yeah, just spreading the message. Spreading the message. How many times you trade a week? Every day. Friday, Monday to Friday. To be honest, every time for me, it's like, ah, shit, it's weekend. That's my life right now. It's like, ah, shit, it's Sunday. Or, ah, it's Saturday. Ah, it's so annoying. And then Monday, I'm fired up. I'm like, you know, what? Okay, it's weekend now. What should I do now? Like, what can I do now? And I still look at charts, at candlestick charts in the weekend, when the market is not even moving. It becomes a habit. It becomes like, it's almost like second nature now, right? Where I just like, I need to see a chart every day. Why you're saying price will reverse at the very low? Why not the point of control? It's somewhere around there, but because of this level, this is where a lot of sellers came in, and it starts at 75. And the first level that aligns with that is the value area low. I hope that makes sense. Trading shorts, man. Thank you for the sub. Hope you do well, my friend. Good to see you. Okay, I'm going to give it around 50 more minutes. Okay, see if we can get the volume in. But I'm going to do a big throughout analysis as well after. So this is how it works, right? I can't control the market. I can only control the scenarios that I would be willing to play, right? So let's say I took a trade today here. I took a trade today there. I'm now waiting for another trade here. Sometimes it will be on stream. Sometimes it will not be. But at least you understand in full what my thought process is behind it. And I will give you all the confluences, and then you can decide if you align with it or not. So I will never leave you empty-handed ever. I will always make sure that you know what to look for the right reasons. So you have at least the preparation you need for the rest of the session or tomorrow Asian session. The Genesis. What's happening, my G? Yeah. It's interesting because a lot of people that I saw recently moved, or actually they moved from gold to the Nasdaq. But now I see a lot of people moving back. A lot of people, they started on the Nasdaq and they're moving back to gold. They moved back to gold. All right. It's very interesting. A lot more people are interested in trading gold now. Again, I think gold is trending. It's a growing niche still. David, come stai? Ben says, thanks, bro. You're so motivational to me every day trying to learn something for you. Appreciate it, brother. Yeah, so right now on gold here on the 1 hour, price is hovering in between the sellers and the buyers. The sellers were aggressive around the level that were kind of marked out, right? It starts at the 50, it goes up to where we have our sell limit at 74. And the buyers that stepped in aggressively at 49 all the way to 79. What happened to the camera? Yes. Yeah, so this is where the battle is taking place right now, right? The buyer's there, the seller's there. And now it's up to gold to make a decision. Like, do we want to get higher? Are the buyers temporarily able to push price higher? But as far as what I can see now is we're already overvalued and the dollar is at support. So buyers will have a hard time. But this is why I believe this is a high probability setup, because if we can get there and we can squeeze higher, we will be very overvalued and the dollar will be at that demand, deeper into the demand zone. And we will be in that major resistance where a lot of selling, aggressive selling took place. Probably the most selling today. So that combination is, in my opinion, strong resistance. And I think that will only increase the high probability setup. But the reason why it's a high probability setup is because it's a setup that you don't see happen all the time. And that's why you need to be extra patient for that setup to play out. That would be nice, right? That would be nice if we could get there. But in between, like if you say I want to enter as a scalper now, yeah, then I could say like, okay, then it's a bit tricky, but you can definitely see there are a lot more buyers stepping in right now. Like that's for sure. There's definitely a lot more buyers. Buyers are definitely taking some control here. And in the short term, you can definitely see that buyers are definitely holding and stepping in. But because we're overvalued already, it's in my opinion a bit tricky to long it in a counter, in a downtrend. Yeah. Yeah. Now, today's trade was the craziest trade, right? Their trades was actually the Asian session trade. The consolidation, the expansion, the retracement, and then the continuation. And that was right here. Consolidation, expansion, retracement, continuation. It's the exact same as in the book. It's actually scary how similar it is. It's like I took a screenshot and I put it right here. But that aligns super well with where the most selling activity was yesterday. And it was a major resistance. And then being overvalued, the volume profile, sellers in control. That was a 1300 pip move. Sorry, 13,000 pip move, right? I don't even know. I don't even know. Wait. How many pips was it again? It says 36,000, but but I don't think that's correct. No, it's 3,600. Sorry, 3,600. That is an insane move. If you understand that in retrospect, it's crazy. Just to put it in retrospect, a couple years ago when I was trading gold, right, 100 pip trade was a big trade. 100 pip trade on the long was a big trade. When I was trading Forex on gold, predominantly on stream, 100 pips was big. 200 pips was like amazing, right? But with the current volatility, 200 pips is a joke. It's an absolute joke. This is how crazy it's getting. Yeah. Anyways, buyers in control in the short term on the lower time frame. But we're pushing a bit more. Give us some volume here. That would be nice. Give us some more volume. I said I'm going to give it around 15 minutes. So we have around 10 minutes left. 50. Okay. Yeah, 100 pips was like a home run. A couple years ago. How times have changed. Can you comment for silver? Yes, I can do this for you, my friend. We can go to silver. Silver, unfortunately, just tanked. Really hard. But we have tapped into weekly demand. And that weekly demand is at 66. And we dropped this week around 20%. We are now back at support. The hourly time frame, we're finding support as well. But in order for me to be really confident about silver as well, right, we just need to drop again. We need to find a stronger button. And create somewhat of a structure. Because it barely, right, when it reaches that aggressive push, it barely just taps into it once and it reverses. It's very rare. So unless we break above this high, we pull back strong, and we really aggressive push up higher and we pull back strong, then I will be willing to look at a potential entry. But I think that gold is still my favorite instrument to trade. I still think gold is just... Silver is nice on the side as well, when it gives me a good confirmation. But not when the market is like what's happening right now. George says, I'm in Winnipeg, Canada. What time does the Nasdaq open? What time did you start trading today? I will be live here every day at 7:45 a.m. EST. So the New York time, 7:45. That is 15 minutes before the New York Open. And that's an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes before the New York Stock Exchange Open. So that's why I like it so much, because we can watch the New York Open. Gold usually moves around the New York Open. And then usually the second batch of volume comes in when the New York Stock Exchange opens up as well. So you kind of have two different opportunities there. And if gold is really, really nasty and it doesn't give us any clear direction, I usually look at the Nasdaq as like a second opinion. But gold is definitely our main instrument here on this channel. All right, I see that we're already getting suppressed again. Okay, I think that this is kind of gonna range a little bit longer. You can kind of see it here on the lower time frame as well. The volume is slowing down as well here a little bit. If you can see the last 15 minutes, we went from 10K to 7K to 5K to 2.4K. So you see that the volume is starting to slow down right now. And the price has been relatively flat. So I will keep my limit order open, okay? I will let you exactly know. Like I said, if we don't get into the trade right here again, then at least I understand fully what I'm willing to do here and why I'm taking this level very serious. So I'm gonna give you all the context for it, so you understand at least my thought process. So if you go to gold here on the higher time frame right now, we of course are still very, very bearish. We have bounced from support, but I do believe our next critical level is still gonna be at that higher time frame, the month zone, right there. That's one layer. Then the second layer is that the 4 hour is still bearish. Okay, we're still trading with the momentum to the downside. The trend as well is bearish here. You can see that we are finding support finally, right? We're finding some support. But the trend of today is just bearish. This is the first time we're actually seeing buyers are stepping in. Then we have our target, which is that higher time for support. There's still a weekly target for me, the 4460. Then at the same time, right, if we draw a volume profile from the high to the low, which then kind of tracks all the volume that was traded in this range, you can learn about this, in this book, in the swing profile section on page number 52 and onwards, how powerful this actually is. And our main level is at 75. This is where it starts, 75, and then we have 74715. But 75 is our first level that we have. That is a major level as well here of resistance, okay? And the reason why this is a major level of resistance is because if we look at the order flow, you can see that this is where today the most aggressive selling took place. And usually what happens is that price will tap into it and it will find resistance here, because this is where sellers took control right there. Now, if you pull that back to the candlestick chart, that is right here. Right? Most of that selling that you see there is there, okay? So you have these levels, you have a higher time frame target, you have a bearish trend, and you have a lot of selling, okay? Right there. Then we have a tool that we call evaluation tool, which measures gold against the dollar. And what we want to do is we never want to buy when the market is overvalued, and we never want to sell when the market is undervalued against the dollar on the 50-minute time frame. So this is why I took that sell today. We were overvalued. We were in that selling. The trend was bearish. We were in our key level, right? And you could see that we sold off very well. We want to see something similar, right? An overvaluation into our level, and then that sell off for the continuation. Now, at the same time, what is important to understand is if the gold is trending downwards and the dollar finds support and it bounces here, this will put more pressure on gold, right? It will put more pressure on gold. If the dollar bounces and pushes back up, this will be more bearish for gold as well again. So I think if you put all of these confirmations together, I'm still bearish biased. And that's why I chose the 75, 74 as my first level, which is actually right here. I'll mark out a line. It's somewhere around there, okay? Which aligns with all the levels and an overvaluation. So I feel quite comfortable to take a short from that level here and actually keep my limit order open, okay? I hope that makes sense from that perspective. I wish we could see a bit more volume right now, but we can just simply already see on the 15-minute that we are slowing down. The volume is slowing down every 15 minutes right now. So we kind of need an impulse for a new bunch of volume for a new trade to happen here. But I do see the trend continuing. At least that will be the best probable setup that I'll be looking for. Okay. Now I'm going to be back tomorrow, same time, 7:45. Let's see what happens, right? Let's see what happens. I will keep you obviously posted around these things as well, and come back and reflect on this tomorrow, see what actually happened here, and then we go from there. And then tomorrow we do the same exact thing, 7:45, and we'll go back to gold and see where we are, and see if it's more reliable to buy or more reliable to sell, according to the actual order flow, the market, the data, and the things that we can see from there. Okay, I hope this makes sense for you guys. And yeah, I can sit here and wait for another hour, but if the volume is dying down, then we're just sitting here and waiting for something that might not come in this session now. So I'm not going to hold you guys up any longer, and I can better than just set my limit order and see how this plays out, right? I think that makes the most sense here. So with that said, thank you for today. I really appreciate you guys. We made some nice profits. I'm very happy. Good setup. And a lot of support from you guys here. And if you like this free education, all right, and you want to download my free book, you can. And I'm just here to trade and have fun with you guys. That's all I'm doing. I'm enjoying this a lot. So thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. Shanghai, thank you for joining. Welcome. And then I'll see you again tomorrow, all right? Just need a good banger of a closure. Ciao! Peace, guys. Have a good day. See you.